Okay, here we go with some hints for homework sheet number 15. The first question is all about factorising. The first one is a common factor, so remember that is something on the outside of the brackets and something on the inside. The second one, we've got x squared and we've got 9. Now you know that 9 is a square number, so therefore when you come to factorise this one, we're going to have a difference of two squares. So x times x at the front, you know what goes at the end, you know what the sign should be. This one, x squared plus 2x minus 15, again it's a pair of brackets. Best way to do this is to set up a wee table using x and x and all the different ways we can make 15. And we just need to work out which one of these pairs makes the positive 2. Similarly, the 2x squared add 3x minus 9. I'm going to set up a table with 2x and x. How can we make 9? 1 times 9, 3 times 3, 9 times 1. Now remember, this is a special one where you have to do a wee bit of cross multiplying and then find out which one of these makes the positive 3 in this case. Second question, now asks you to answer as a fraction. Okay, so the first problem we've got here is turning 20% into a fraction. Now I don't think I'm giving the game away by saying 20% is 1/5. Often mathematics means times. 4 as a fraction is 4 over 1, and then add 2.5. So the first thing we need to do is this multiplication here, and then we add that part of the fraction on. For question 3, remove the brackets. Well, if we're using the loops method, then we're going to do x times 2, and then x times x, negative 1 times 2, and negative 1 times x. Just be careful, please, of the signs. Okay, remember the rules of what you do when you multiply a positive and a negative and so on together. For the second one, very, very similar, except this time we're going to do x squared times x and x squared times 4. And then we're going to do negative 3 times x, negative 3 times negative 4, and then lastly 2 times x and 2 times negative 4. You end up with a whole string of things here which can all simplify. Question 4. Now you might think this is the hardest one on the sheet, but if you listen carefully I'm going to show you a very, very quick and easy way to do it. If you look at the pie chart, now I've only drawn a part of it. Okay, it's got a bit like that, and a bit like that, and a bit like that. Okay, but the only one I'm really interested in is this one, it's 20. Why am I interested in that? Because 40 is 2 lots of 20. Okay, so we know what this one now is. 120 is 6 lots of 20. So I can work out this one. 80 is 4 lots of 20. So I can work out this one. And then last to the little one that's up the top there, 40 is 2 lots of 20. So as long as I can find out what 20 is, so if I can find this one here, then I can just double it for 40, times it by 6, times it by 4, and times it by 2. So the question then becomes, what is, or what fraction is 20 degrees of 360 times, and how many people were in the survey? 144. Oops, my page has moved. Times 144. So if I can do that sum, I can get all the other answers. So how do I cancel this fraction down? Well, I've got zeros at the end, so they're going to cancel each other out. 2 into 36 gives us 1 something, times 140. Do a wee bit more cancelling. Keep going and keep going and keep going, and you'll get a nice wee simple number coming out if you cancel it down all the way. So remember, that's what the 20% is. So that's the bird's figure. So whatever answer you got there is the bird's figure. And then to find out the cat, times it by 20. To find out the dog, times it by 6. To find out the rabbit, times it by 4. And to find out the fish, times that by 2. Number 5, probably the easiest one of the whole lot now, going from a hard one to an easy one. V equals 4/3 pi times A times B times C. Right, 4 over 3 we can't do anything with. Pi we can get from our calculator. A we know is 4. B we know is 3. C we know is 2. So we just do that on our calculator. Now, this week, I'm going to penalise you if you don't show the unrounded answer. Okay, because the question asks you to round to 1 decimal place, you must put the unrounded answer in. So whatever your calculator says, write that down, and then round off to 1 decimal place. Okay, you must show the unrounded answer before you give the final answer. Question 6. Here we go. Mr. West playing golf. 46 birdies over 35 rounds. 40 birdies over 31 rounds. So what's the best? Well, if I could work out my number of birdies each round, then I would know which one is likely to be best. So if I take the first one first of all, 46 birdies in 35 rounds, just divide 46 by 35, and that's going to give me the number of birdies per round. Do the same for the other fraction, then you can write down which one's best. Question 7, the ghosts in Alloa. They've increased from 40 to 46, so that means they've went up by 6 ghosts. Okay, that's not hard obviously. We need to work what that is as a rate or a percentage. So it's went up 6 out of how many was it to start with? 40. How do I turn a fraction into a percentage? I times it by 100. So you work that out as a percentage. Okay, once you've got that as a percentage, it's just your normal rules for doing your compound interest. 100 plus your percentage number gives you that. Turn it into a decimal. Then you do that number to the power 5 times the starting value to get your final answer. So the bit of this question which is new compared to normal is you've got to work out the percentage. Normally in the past I've told you the percentage. Today I'm asking you to work it out first of all. Question 8. Jack and Jill have been up the hill and they've collected some water. This time they didn't fall down and they're going to share it when they get to the bottom. Jack got 500 because he's greedy. Jill gets how much? Well, just think to yourself, how do I get from 4 up to 500? What do I times it by? And do the same times sum on this side, and you can work out how much water Jill receives. And that's us, guys.